Hello everyone, this is Appian tutorial and my name is Sachin Raghav. Today we will discuss what is Appian, how it works in development, and where should we look when we will get any error or blocker while development. So let's start. Appian is basically a BPM based tool which is working on agile methodology. So, agile methodology is if we are getting a requirement, it may change over the period of time. If we got the development of 1 month and after a demo to the user, we are having a different requirement. So, my user can change the requirement after the demo. So, that is agile methodology. Appian BPM is considered as the market leader in modern business process management and case management software, as this enterprise application integrates seamlessly work automation with data management, native mobility, and social capabilities. And there are a few features that Appian has, due to which it is now a popular BPM tool. So I'm going through each of the feature one by one. First one is BPM and process solutions. So it is a business standard BPM and practice which a BPM tool should follow. So basically it's a drag and drop functionality that provided to the user by the BPM tool, using which a work of development and that can be happen in a year or more than a year, and we can cover it up in 30 days to 60 days maximum. Native process repository, so all the processes site should be saved somewhere in the same environment. Business rules, so all the processes are business driven. We can create rules, interfaces, and we can even do the complex thing in the our application. Next is form interface design, then complex event processing, instant deployment. So my instant deployment is if we are okay with the development and we have a demo with the clients and they are happy to have it in QA or NR, so it must not get to so for deploying it to the another environment should not get much time. If we are talking about Appian, it will take only the time which it takes to export and import a patch from one environment to another environment. So hardly it is taking 5 to 10 minutes if we are following proper deployment guides and instructions over there. After that, we have out of box integration functionality in Appian, where they have provided few of the connectivity functions, and there are web APIs which we can use to configure other processes in our Appian, and we can expose our data to the external environments as well. Task management system, so likely let's take an example that we have a group, managerial group. Okay, so here we have 10 people in the group and a task is assigned to the managerial group. Then what happens, scenario changed, one of the person left and new joinee joins the uh, firm. Then the task should be visible to the new joinee. So in Appian it is very easy to maintain that. For this purpose we need to maintain a separate group for particular group assignment. So we can categorize each task using as per the assignment, and when we are going to add the new member in the group, the task is uh, automatically comes in the task queue of that person. Real time visibility, Like I have told you an example of task assignment. Similarly, we have different uh, example of it for the real-time visibility. Social collaboration. So there is a option in Appian where we can collaborate everything in the same phase. So the task, the form name is news tab in the task tempo, where we can even link the dashboards and all that stuff with the user collaboration. User can comment on it and another user can reply on it, and it all depends on the visibility of that news feed. Dynamic reporting. So in Appian we can create reports using the processes, using the database data, like database tool data, and even though we can create a report using web services and different integrations. So it is very easy to have a dynamic reporting in Appian. So here's the second question of our discussion, like where we should look when we are getting any error or any blocker. So this all about the community. Here we are getting all of the update which are comes in the Appian tool, and we also have a link of Appian market here. If you can see that we have a web last release of Appian 17.4. So we have Appian 17.4 webinar link over here, and we have different 5 tabs on this Appian community. So first is discussion. The page you can see on my screen is discussion page. Here if we have any activity, we can see that even if we have any blocker or any error, we can directly search that over here and then find the result. Second part is training. So if you want to learn something about Appian, then we should go to the training tab, and here if you are the part of Appian, like you are a subscribed, you have subscribed Appian community, then you can go to the academy videos as well. Third one is support. So here we can raise a ticket for Appian to assist us. Documentation is the part where we can see how the different functions Appian provided applications works. So everything is documented under the document section. We have link for the documentation. Even for now we have a documentation open source. So if you are going to type Appian 17.4 documentation in Google, you can see everything on the Google. So it's now open source. Last tab is app market. So if we have done some POC and it works well and we want to expose it over the Appian clients, so we can use the app market. Even we can sell our applications here. So that's all about the Appian community. Second thing is Appian Forum. So there's two different things, Appian community and Appian Forum. So what's the basic difference between Appian community and Appian Forum is, previously we have only Appian Forum, but now we have Appian community as well. And another difference is, on Appian community we can create user on by on, but for Appian Forum we should be part of Appian client. So someone should have to buy a login for you from Appian, then you will access the Appian Forum. Same case happens for the Academy videos, Appian Academy videos. While for the Appian community, we can go to the Appian community and create our login by ourselves. So that's the basic difference. Second thing is, there was the tab first tab, discussion tab. Over here we can search the question, but now we in Appian Forum we have search over here. Appian, under the Appian Forum we have a search tab, search news. So here we can search anything, so it will filter out the news feed as per that. And the most valuable thing in Appian Forum is if we are going to move the record side, we will have different kinds of record, and we will discuss it later on. Okay, so here's the records on Appian Forum. Here we have first tab for the account. So here we can see the information of organization details. Second is documentation. So we have every documentation list over the Appian documentation and software record. Third is lab, program, practitioner, shared component. So shared component is very important. If we want to deploy any plugin function or custom functions which are Appian approved, in that case we need to move to the shared component, and we can search for anything. Like for the export to Excel, till 17.3 we don't have any inbuilt functionality for Appian, but now in 17.4 they have provided inbuilt export to Excel over the records. So we have a link over the record where we can export a data of a record. So let's start with the basic things in Appian. So basic thing in Appian are users, groups, and group types. If we are going to talk about the types of users, so there are only two types of users. One is system administrator and second is basic user. System administrator user will have access to all of the tabs and can see everything on the record and action tab and related action. Everything he can see if there is no additional filter over the visibility. Otherwise he cannot see, because we have customized the visibility. So if we are putting any visibility, we should add system administrator user as part of that. Second one is basic user. Basic user are having basic authentication for the Tempo and Apps tab. So we will discuss about it later on, that what are the different tabs provided in the Appian environment. So group is an entity which comes under the consideration when we are defining action done by a set of users. So as I told you, like there's a managerial group should be able to raise a request for absence of a person. So in that case we need to create a group in Appian and provide the visibility of that action to that group. In that case he can see that action and can do anything over that action. And last thing is group types. So group type is nothing but the categorization of the group. So even if we are not creating any group type, if we are going to create a group direct without any group type, it will shown up as custom group type. So for categorization of group, it is advisable that we should create a application specific group type, then create the groups using that group types. So different types of URLs or views incorporated in Appian. When user is hitting below URLs, it will redirect user to different landing page set of uh, set for the user by the system administrator. So basically we can move to any of the page if we are hitting a URL slash shoot. So if we are hitting that URL, it will redirect you to the default page that administrator can configure under the admin tab. So we have 5 kinds of links for different environments or URLs. So we have admin. We for redirecting to the admin tab, we just need to type admin after the suite slash. Similarly, for moving to the designer, we need to type designer. For design, we need to type design, tempo, and apps. Likewise, user access. So the most important thing that we should discuss it is user access, because everything is depends on the security of an application. So if we are want to give a configuration on society on security, then in that case we should know what kind of visibility a user should have. So user access to various sites depends on user type and the group in which user is participated. By default, Appian provides these below accesses. So we are going to see this chart. We can see that basic user only have the apps and the tempo security, while system administrator can see every URL or tab in Appian. First tab is designer tab. Previously we have a lot of options here over this tab, but now it limited to 5 options. First one is home, second is people, third is processes, fourth is documents, and fifth is system. In homes we have bookmark page and other links. Even we have a database configuration link here. So if there is any default database attached to a Appian environment, we can see that database using that link. In people, after 17.1 and onwards, we cannot create any user using people tab. We can create groups, but we cannot create any users. In processes, we are allowed to see running processes, completed processes, and here we have a launch button over here to launch a process model, and we can save it as a new process model, or we can search for a process model and select that for editing or enhancement purpose. In documents we have different kinds of categories, like we can create cases or community. So now communities are deprecated. We should use to create cases directly. Cases knowledge centers, and after creating cases we can create a folder inside that case, and folders are by default inherits the security of a case, so we need to provide the particular security over the case. In system we are allowed to see all the data types that we are having in the environment, and we are also having a link to see data stores. So we will discuss about it later on once we are when we are digging with the concept of data stores and data types. So let's move to the another tab, Appian Design. So here we can we have several options. First is new application. So we can create a new application by clicking on link of new application. It will show you different options to create a new application, and a different way to create an application in an environment is import application. So how they are differentiated? So in dev, initially we are creating an application, okay, and when we are going to move that application from one environment to another environment, we can export that application using that select tab uh, besides the application. So you can see test 33, all these are applications. So if we are going to export it, just select it, you will see the export button um, over the screen nearby import application, and you can easily export. So exported application can be imported using import application. So if you are using import application button for importing an application, it will create a new application in your environment. And if we do not want to create any new application, what we can do is we can click on the link of an application and go inside. After going inside, we will see the uh, import patch link over there, and we can import inside an application. In that case, it will not create any application, any new application in the environment, only updates the existing application. Other than this, we have search tab over here. We can search using the text, and we can filter out the application using the from and to date. So there are two options over the top, is application and objects. Currently we are discussing about the application tab, but if we are going to move to the objects tab, every artifact will be available in the objects tab except users. User will not be available in objects tab. Other than that, we have every objects that we can create in Appian, we can see it in object tab. We have different kinds of filter in objects tab as well. We will discuss it later on in another video. Appian Tempo. So here we have 5 links. So you can see the URL appian forum.appian.com is the domain name. After that, suite, then tempo, and currently we are in news tab, so we have news and all. If we are not typing news and all, then we will go to the tempo tab by default, and it will land to the same page. So we have news as a default page here. So we can filter out the news by searching or selecting filters like updates, participant, kudos, or steered, or we can send a task, or we can post by clicking here and send the post. And we have second tab is tasks tab. Here we will see all the tasks that were assigned to me or my group. So all the groups in which I am part of, the task, if assigned to that group, I can see it in my task tab. Records is same as we saw the records over the forum. So it's the same. And reports, we can see reports, and actions, we can see actions to create a new application instance. Apps tab. So previously we have a apps tab. Over here we can see application and after clicking on home page, we can see different applications that are deployed in this environment. So we can see those applications only if we have access to, otherwise we cannot see. And this portal version is deprecated in 7.1. so after that we are usually moving applications from portal to tempo. So current environment for any application is tempo, not the apps. So let's move to the today's questions. My first question is which of the artifact of Appian we can create on one environment but cannot export from Appian environment? Give me the name. And the clue is we cannot create it from application designer. My second question is there are two different kind of IDs created for an artifact. One is unique in an environment, but another is unique even for two different environments. What are the terms used for these IDs? I will discuss these questions in my next video. So let's wait for my new video, and please share, subscribe and like this video. Thank you everyone.